Sableye is the most hated Pokemon card in the current standard format, and perhaps one of the most hated cards of all time. And what's funny is Sableye was notoriously underrated coming out of Lost Origin. The card, in fact, looks very weak on paper, and many people underestimated how truly powerful Sableye was going to be. Like, the way I found out Sableye was going to be super good is on the release day of Lost Origin, I was messing around with Lost Zone Greedent, and that Sableye card seemed very good. Like, even Joe from Omnipoke, in his set review, gave Sableye a 3 out of 5 stars, which is pretty dismal. So, why is Sableye so good? The stats, of course, look pretty underwhelming. Only 80 HP, first attack doing 20 damage, and only doing that second Lost Mine attack doing 12 damage counter spread, which, considering the Pokemon that have 310 HP, this really doesn't seem all that impressive. So why does everyone hate facing Sableye? And that's the question we're going to be answering in today's video. And it's not just me who does not like Sableye. I posted a poll on my community tab a couple days ago with over 250 votes. Lost Zone Box, well, pretty much more specifically, Sableye is the most hated deck in standard format. The question was if you could choose to delete what deck, any deck in format, which one would you choose? And the vast majority of people picked Lost Zone Box, which I was sort of surprised by it, but considering how unfun and oppressive Mew and Lugia are to face sometimes. But yeah, Sableye is just pretty hated right now. So today I'm going over 4 reasons on why Sableye is just so universally hated currently in the Pokemon TCG standard format. And the first one is the format/era that we're currently in. We're transitioning over to EXs, which is a throwback to the old EX era from the Ruby and Sapphire games. And we have little Pokemon that evolve into big 2-prizers. So we have like 60 and 70 HP Pokemon that have to get up into those big multi-prizers. This is the perfect thing for Sableye because that Lost Mine attack can take multiple prizes on those evolving Pokemon. So it's in fact very easy, which we'll get into in just a moment, to get that Lost Mine going very quickly. So if we can get Lost Mine faster than our opponent can get their Pokemon evolved and start taking quick and easy prizes on their evolving Pokemon, this just makes a very unfun environment where it feels like you can't even play the game. Just because all your little Pokemon get knocked out before you can evolve them. Like, there's nothing more unfun in the Pokemon trading card game than not being able to execute your core strategy. Like, at least you can execute your strategy, and that's not good enough. You know you need to move on to a new deck. But Sableye just bullies decks into not even doing what they want to do. So, I feel like if this was like back in the big basic era, the tag teams, I don't feel like Sableye would be that good. Like if you look at a deck like Piguram or Tempozard, they didn't really play that many little Pokemon, like Jirachi, the Star Jirachi aside, that Sableye could really bully, and that would, I think, really weaken Sableye's overall impact on the standard format. But since we're in an era where evolving Pokemon are very frequent, this just makes Sableye such an annoying threat to deal with. And then, of course, Sableye is so good because of the support, and that if it was not easy to get 10 of the Lost Zone to actually pop off and use that Lost Mine, then nobody would play it. So the cards like Comfey, like Chorus, allow you to quickly and easily build your cards up into Lost Zone, while also getting yourself into the game. Things like Lost Vacuum, that kind of accelerate things. Cramorant and Sableye, or Cramorant and Snorlax being a solid 1-2 punch in the early game to get through those big multi-prizers. And just, of course, all the other amazing attackers Mirage Gate can use. Like, Sableye cannot do things alone. Like, Lost Mine's good, but if you're facing an exclusively big basic deck like Arcadura, Lost Mine isn't doing a ton, so it has to have the support to truly stay meta viable, and Lost Origin gave it a ton of support. So if you took Chorus away, took Comfey away, and it took like turn 4 or 5 to actually get a Lost Mine going, then of course things would be a lot more different. You'd have all your Pokemon evolved or pretty close to being fully evolved by then, and just the pressure of Sableye wouldn't be there, and it probably would be pretty obsolete in the current standard format. But it has an embarrassment of riches in support that it got in Lost Origin. And finally, number 3 is something it seems kind of weird, but the difficulty of the deck, I feel like, is a reason that people don't like it. Because imagine you're going on the PTCG ladder, your favorite Gen 9 Pokemon is Meowscarada, and you made a Meowscarada EX deck. You drop all your Sprigatitos on the first turn, and maybe you evolve a couple into a Floragato, but you miss your rare candies, and then on your opponent's turn, it's like their second or third turn, and they usually Lost Mine and take out all your poor Sprigatitos, Floragatos, and then you can't really do anything. And you quickly can seize that game, and you're like, wow, this Sableye card's pretty good. I'm gonna build this deck myself. So you build a Sableye Lost Zone Box deck, and you actually pick it up and play it yourself, and it's just incredibly difficult, and I feel like the newer player is just gonna be like, they can't play their fun deck that they just want to try on ladder because it gets abused by all these Lost Zone decks, and they also just can't really play Lost Zone decks very like most beginner players won't be able to play and pick up Lost Box and have a large amount of success with it, just because it's such a high learning curve to truly become a master at Lost Box. So I think they just grow frustrated and just generally quit, because you can't play your fun deck and you can't really play Lost Box either, because that is so difficult to play. Sort of creates an unhealthy environment in the trading card game meta. And finally, probably the most important reason why people hate Sableye is it gatekeeps creative strategies, where there are decks like United Wings and Tankaton or Zorobox that are a very solid amount of spreads, but they pretty much have exactly zero chance at beating Lost Box. And I mean, like, it's not like you can just, it's not like you can add in a couple cards to fix that matchup. There's pretty much no solid tech card to do with Lost Box. Like, you think about all the other decks in standard format, and there are things that you can add to beat them, like Gardevoir, you can add in Mawile, or against Mew, you can add Drapion and Spiritomb. Against Lugia, you can add Luxray. But you can't really add, there's no easy tech card for Lost Box. It also isn't completely dead weight in other matchups. Like, you can try to incorporate Klefki or Empoleon, but that's not a very easy fit into every deck, because you have to have enough Klefkis to open it, and also have switching cards to get into those Klefkis, which is just not very reasonable for a lot of single price based decks that are already sort of inconsistent to begin with, to fitting in like 6 or 7 cards just to beat one specific matchup. And don't get me wrong, I do feel like there's some people that use Lost Box as like an excuse, that like, you can't tell me that Skeledirge would be a viable deck, or even Meowscarada. Those decks have a lot more problems than Sableye, and of course it takes like a 1090 matchup to Lost Box. Like, it is utterly atrocious, but it's like sort of like masked by, like, it just makes people upset that that's so winnable, but like, really the deck has much more flaws in its Lost Box. Don't get me wrong, decks like Tankaton, United Wings, and Zorobox would definitely be very viable decks if Sableye specifically was not around. But also, I'm playing a little devil's advocate with myself, but there are so many creative strategies that just the Lost Zone engine enables. I know this isn't Sableye specifically, but if you were to completely axe the whole Lost Zone package, just think about all the creative attackers and strategies that would just be completely gone if you took all those cards away. I know it's not like the sheer number of archetypes that would be unlocked after a Sableye ban, but I just feel like that some people are sort of like, oh, this format sucks, there's no creativity, Lost Box gatekeeps all the creativity. When in reality, there's a lot of those decks that you want to play have underlying flaws that would also keep them unviable. It just takes such a rough L to Lost Box that's like sort of what everyone focuses on. But I'm not like, and also this video is not I'm not advocating for a Sableye ban. In fact, I do enjoy playing Lost Box myself. Go ahead, roast me in the comment section. I'm a Lost Box player, but what do you guys think of Sableye? Was it a very big mistake for Pokemon to print this card in Lost Origin, or do you think it's completely fine, healthy for the metagame? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you actually want to watch a video where I go over the best builds of Lost Box right now, well, I got just a video for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.